Hey everyone, this is Toy, and today I am going to be talking about my starter locks. So, I started wearing my hair natural back in 2014, and at the time I was looking for something that would be low maintenance, so I thought low maintenance. Something that I wouldn't have to manipulate my hair a lot. I can just maybe do wash and go. What I thought would be easy, and I enjoyed my natural hair phase, my journey. I will admit that I didn't know enough, and I never took the time to learn enough about how to properly care for my hair in its natural state. I tried so many different products, so many different regimens of maybe, wash and go, twists. So my hair lacked a lot of moisture, and I think as a result I had a lot of breakage over the years. Once again, me being, a little bit lazy, not wanting to take extra time to properly care for my hair. I didn't want to go to the beauty shop to get it done. I just didn't have a lot of time. I didn't want to make the time either, My time is usually spent doing other projects when I'm not working my full-time job. So I didn't really want to dedicate a lot of time to that. Now, 7 years later, I am now at the point where I was either going to go back to wearing a relaxer or starting some locks. So I wanted to give natural hair another try. I want to start my locks, and I think that I am going to like this journey way better than my wash and go journey. And I also think that I'm going to like this journey better than just, going back to a relaxer. It's not something that I want to do. I want low maintenance hair. So I decided to do my twists myself. These are 2-strand twists that I did myself. These right now are 2 weeks old, and this is my third retwist. Now, I started my journey 3 weeks ago, actually. And I just, I had just washed my hair. I was getting ready for work the next day. And I said, you know what? I'm just gonna do some really small twists, and I'm not gonna take it down. I'm not gonna do anything else with it. I'm just gonna let it lock up. So I started doing the finger scoop method at the back. And then while I was watching TV, just twisting. That took about 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours. I think I stopped a few times for, get some snacks and stuff, and, So that took about, let's just call it 4 hours to do those. And I actually had I had my hair this way, because I normally wear my hair with a side part. So that's what I did. When I got around to the front, I went ahead and did a straight part. And I put some gel around my edges, and I started doing the little twist. And it all turned out pretty well. And I'm gonna show you some pictures of how that looked. And I wore that for about 2 days before I had to wash my hair, okay? So the reason I had to wash my hair is because I have seborrheic dermatitis really bad. So my hair gets a lot of dandruff. My scalp gets a lot of dandruff. And I am constantly having to wash my hair. If I go a week or more without washing my hair, it just gets really bad. The flaking, the itching. If you can see right around the front here, this discoloration was from flaking. It looks darker because I put hair dye in my hair. I have a lot of gray, 44. And I started getting a lot of gray in my 30s. And it's way more than what you see here. This whole area is like a crown of gray. And I dyed my hair not because of the discoloration, but because of the gray. So naturally, it colors the skin around that area because it was maybe a little flaky or inflamed. But what I do notice is the color does kind of cover up the imperfections in the skin a little bit. It just kind of blends in. People don't really tell that there's a discoloration up here. So, like I said, 2 days after starting the first set of locks, I had to wash my hair. Now, I normally use like Head and Shoulders. I've tried Nizoral, that works too, but I just run to Head and Shoulders, my go-to shampoo. And I know it's probably not the best for my hair, but it works for me to control the itching because I'd rather have control when it comes to itching than anything. So I washed my hair, and surprisingly, the twist didn't come out. But guess what? The next day, by the time I got home from work, oh my gosh, the itching was so bad. I had to wash my hair again that day. That's two washes in 3 days. And guess what? The twist did not come out. So, guess what happened on day 3? You guessed it. I had to wash my hair a 3rd time because the itching was so intense. And what I realized was that I probably didn't have enough moisture on my scalp to control it, or I need to try some other products to kind of help control that itching. So I went ahead, by the 3rd wash, the ones in the back started coming loose, and my hair started looking like it was 4 or 5 weeks in without a retwist. So it started looking pretty bad after, and I hadn't even gone through a whole week yet. I also started watching YouTube videos and seeing some posts on Instagram about how to actually start starter locks. And you know what the common, what a lot of people do commonly is they part their hair. And I was, like I said, I just kind of did the scooping method with my fingertip. So nothing was really, the lines weren't, I wasn't expecting them to be straight, but they were probably like, it just wasn't as clean as I think that I would want. You know, it was all good the first day until I started getting influences off of watching social media. And I'm not mad at that. I went ahead and started over. So that weekend, I took everything down, washed my hair again, really good. This time I put a lot of moisturizer. Well, that's to be up for discussion. So I used a lot of oil. Now, I have a few products that I used to moisturize my hair. The first one was this here. This is called Influence with an A. It's a natural oil. One of my friends gave me this. That's probably hard to see with the lighting. But one of my friends gave me this bottle. So, oh, there we go. So it was, you know, a little bit left in here. And I decided to try it because it did have the natural oils in there. I also used a little bit of this Carol's Daughter Black Vanilla. This is a Black Vanilla pure hair oil for dry, dull, and brittle hair. It has some natural flower extracts and things like that in there. So I used that as well. I also went during the first week, what I learned, what I wanted to do for this week, you know, moving forward. I bought this No More Itch spray because it has some mentholated. It has some ingredients in there that's supposed to control the itching. And it says it's good for locks and twists and braids. So I bought that to help, like, so I wouldn't be prompted to want to wash my hair every day. Also, so I didn't use this right away. I used the 2 oils, and by day 4 or 5, maybe, no, by day 3, I think with these new ones, I went ahead and used a little bit of this one. This is a mint almond oil. And this soothed, oh my gosh, it soothed the itching. Oh my, I just put like a little bit on my fingertips and rubbed it through. A little bit on the finger, just rubbed it through. So I didn't want to, my hair already had a lot of oil in it. I didn't want to I know I was going to have some buildup. Now, that's what I did to try to control the itching on the second twist. Also, what I used to make my twist was this locking gel, the mango and lime. This is Jamaican mango and lime resistant formula locking gel. It says for difficult to lock hair, extra hold. So I wanted the extra hold part because I know that I have fine hair. My hair is very fine and it's not, I mean, I'm not gonna say thick, it's just fine hair. It's a 4B texture. I know the twists make it look finer than what it is, but mind you, it has a lot of oil in it too. So they look a little bit more silky than, you know, normal. Now, I've been okay with this moisture in my hair, this oil. My locks are still, my twists are still ringing up. As you can see, look at that. It's been 2 weeks. Look at that. So it's already like shriveling up, or that's probably not the right word for it, but you know what I mean, shrinking. See, look at that. So when I first twisted them, I think they hung a little lower, and they've started to shrink up. And there's even been a few that I've had to kind of not really separate, but I could tell that the hair was, you know, some of the ends were starting to kind of lock together, which is you know what you want your hair to lock, but just not together right now. So when I did this second set of twists, I went ahead and put a part in the middle. Why? This is why. Okay, this is hereditary. So a lot of women in my family don't have this area here. Back in the day, we called them cowlicks. But, you know, we love ourselves and our hair and all this beauty, so we won't call them that anymore. But this really thin here, it's not even enough to twist. Maybe once my hair starts growing out, like you see how thin that one is? I had to struggle just to get this one because all this hair is really short and fine. So I went ahead and did a middle part to kind of camouflage some of that when I go to work, and because when I had it on the side, you could really see you could see that, and I didn't really care for that. So I went ahead and put a part in the middle, and I'm gonna grow them out like this, and you know, I'll change my styles up as time goes on and put it back or whatever. I'm sure maybe this will thicken up. We'll see once I once it starts to lock and all the manipulation is done. So I'm gonna include a bunch of photos. I'm gonna show you what it looked like before I did the second retwist. So mind you, this is my third retwist. Now, it's still my second. It's kind of a second, you know, a twist and a rehab. So what happened was, after I did my second twist, which was this form here, I didn't like the parting in the back. I felt like it looked too sectioned, and then some of them were kind of big. So I just went through and fixed some of the ones that were too big and made them into two, turned, you know, some of those into two. So on my first set of twists, the ones where I did the finger scoop method, I had about maybe 81 locks. And so now I don't know how many there are now, but I know that I went through and did the separation of a bunch. And you know, when I get closer into the camera here, I don't know if I should separate these or not, because mind you, my hair is really thin, so I'm afraid of breakage over time, and I think that the smaller the lock, the harder it would be to keep it from breaking, pulling. Another thing, look at that. When I did my first twist, I was just twisting. I didn't really know about directions, counterclockwise versus clockwise. So when I did the second set, I went ahead and I started twisting this way back with my 2-strand twist, and I did that all the way around. So these are twisted in the same direction. So when I do a retwist, I'll know that it's the same direction, and I won't have to guess which ones were twisted in which direction. A lot of things I learned over the first week of watching the videos and Instagram and just trying to get a better understanding of what I was doing. Now, could I have been just a little bit more freer with my hair and said, you know, I'm not gonna go off of what everybody else is doing? Yes. However, I do agree with a lot of the information that's been put out. So that's why I wanted to go ahead when I did start the second set, is to just kind of pull in some of those elements that I like to see on some of the other styles and some of the other people who have done their locks. So there you have it. I'm going to include some, I know this is a long video. My other videos won't be this long, but I'm going to give you guys an update when I do my wash. It's only been 2 weeks. In my next video, guess what I'm going to be doing? A wash at 2 weeks. Because once again, I told you I have this dermatitis issue, and I think this is the longest that I can go right now. So until I can get everything under control, I know I'm gonna do my first wash at 2 weeks. So subscribe to my page if you like my video, and then you can see how everything turns out. We'll talk more about my hair texture. We'll talk more about the dermatitis, and I'll show you guys how my rewash works. So I'm gonna include some pictures of my progress up until today, and thank you guys. See you later.